Hi everybody, I am Jason, that is Brett, and on this episode of Brett's Brick Builds, got an older kit for you. We have a kit from 1987, and it's one, it didn't come with the instructions, but I was able to print it off at toysperiod.com, and we've got complete instructions, although not the originals. So I think this is, from what I was able to find out, I bought this kit from, I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud to myself while I'm setting these instructions up and getting distracted. I know, Brett, I know. So, it's a kit from 1987. It's known as the Recycle Truck and or Refuse Collection Truck, depending on your vernacular. And it's kit number 6693. And it's one of those kits where 6693, it's been reassigned apparently, that number. So now this kit is known as 6693-1 in some circles. But we'll go ahead and we'll get her built and we'll check her out. Now this is one, a lot of times you hear me talk and I say this, you know, this one I think was just displayed, or, you know, I think this one was actually played with a bit. But complete, and everything looked in really good condition on it, so that's why I took the chance on it and I bought it. For reference, it's not a real, I don't know if it's a rare kit, but the price on it was really reasonable. That was another reason I felt pretty safe going with the buy. But you'll see as we go on here, it comes with two minifigures that are in really good shape. Nice good clutch on the parts. Got the original round heads without the ventilated top. One face that may be faded, it may just not have printed as dark as the other. Sometimes it just depends. And we've got we've got two things here. We've got two classic Lego, I guess it's almost tropes. We have, and I'll get them where you can see them here in a second. We have the classic got both the Lego classics here. We have the standard workman's hat, and we've got the standard Lego hair. And like I said, both the figures in really good shape. Although if you notice, I think this face may be a little less bright or a little less printed than that one, or maybe that one's printed a little darker. I'm not sure, but we've got those two guys. Lego hair's kind of a joke in the family a bit. My brother-in-law, there's a picture in his family's basement when he was like, I guess, in elementary school. And he had, his hair isn't as red as it used to be, but he had that really orange red little kid hair. But in that family picture, it's just like this setup. And they're all, it's this typical family picture with the kids. But his hair was like so perfectly coiffed. It looked like Lego hair. It just looked like you took and snapped it on top of his head. So that's the family joke on the Lego hair. Lego head hair. Now that most people have left the channel, we will now begin with the build. After that horrendous storytelling I just did. Excuse me. But we'll go ahead here. And this is again the older Lego instruction set. There was always a lot more going on the older kits. One 2x4 going on there at the front, connecting everything together. Okay, so we got everything together now. There we are. And the first thing we got, I don't know if it's the fuel tanks or the air tanks for the fuel, but these guys are going to go on either side. Then we have the red, one by one with the red, like knuckle attachments, I would call them. And Slide there. And that's going to go hold on right at the end. I printed these off. I printed them off at a much smaller scale than I meant to, but because I was using company resources at the time, I didn't go back and reprint them. So there we are. Go ahead and flip her over. Kind of laugh about it, but there's not, you know, any instruction. I mean, I know to flip it over, but some of the Lego, what would now be a whole thing of, hey, flip this over, isn't even on that instruction. So I think we're all right so far. Flip her back over. We've got the, let's see, got the grill assembly. Missed a spot. Was that Brett? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brett. You gotta keep an eye on me there. Keep an eye on that Jason guy. Square yellow headlights here. There we are. So we have not a lot yet, but let you in on what we're looking at so far. Just kind of got that so far. Alrighty. 2x2 plate. I don't mean to be giving you folks motion sickness, but I got to kind of go back and forth here just for my own reference to make sure I'm putting things in the right places, because I, as previously mentioned, printed off way too small, a much smaller scale of these than I had meant to for these instructions. There. And we're going on to a 2x2 and then a 1x2. Or a 1x4 and a 2x4. All them on. Then we got our steering wheel. We'll go on here. Got our red. We've got the actual opening doors that Lego used for so many years they've kind of gotten away from recently. And then that piece across the back. Which leads us to the roofing piece, which was used on so many kits. And our windshield. The windshield, it's not scraped up, but it's a little scuffed up, which leads me to believe that this may have been an actual played with kit, which I kind of like to see, honestly. It's going to get played with. You know, somebody back in 1987 or so. Maybe Christmas present, birthday present. Pop-on wheels on the axles. So we basically got kind of just like the truck body so far. Here. Let's see, in some of the previous steps I've been holding too close to the camera. So back there, but there we are. Like in real life, a lot of times it would be like the cab and chassis assembly gets bought, and then that's when the, you know, they pick what they're going to use as a, I guess, what would you call it, like a tail assembly, or the back of the build, as you would call it. Again, apologies for pulling the instructions out in front of me over and over, but as previously mentioned, I printed them out way too small. These 3 1x4s here for the front. And then we have a cab piece. These pieces here. We got that front. Again, a little scuff on it there, a little scuff, a little nick here. So like I said, I think I actually played with, but I'm okay with that. Plate there. A couple of these 1x8 plates. And this piece here. Oh, I see what they're telling me. Okay. And then we've got here 1x4 and that going there. And I remember now. Okay. Again, thinking out loud to myself. Sorry, Brett. There's going to go on there, so that's where we're at. Then we're going to kind of set this aside. And we're going to build the not sure what you would call it, the lift piece, the rear or the tail part, the hinge here. These two hinge pieces going together. Then we have there. I don't know if I showed real well before. That's where we're at. Set that there. And this is the, we've got the lifty piece. We've got one, I believe it's going right on center on the bottom. A little hard to tell from the perspective of the picture here that we've got. 6 and 7 is. Oh, I see what they're doing. 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, page went down. I'm used to going across. All right. Let's get serious, Brett. Keep an eye on me here. I just confused myself thoroughly with the instructions, but we're going to be okay. Previous builds have shown that even if it starts coming off the rails, we can always pull it back. That's going to be the brake light section here. 2 square brake lights. Square it up a bit so we're kind of there so far. Alright, so there, brake light piece. Got a 1x2 here, or 2x4 there. Then the 1x1 hook pieces coming up the side. Red square there. Red square is a red Lego piece, not his Moscow situation. This is going to go here. Now we're back to these pieces that I was errantly trying to add earlier. 7, and then piece 8. Just going in this direction. Again, it's Lego. If we got her backwards, we can flip her around. biggest part of our rear dumper mechanism. And we've got we're going to use this roof piece here. It's going to go across the top. And this is going to go on the very back. Put downward. Or we'll leave that up, depending. And we have our two flashing lights, or cautionary flashing lights here, and they are off center, which honestly I kind of like. I like the little asymmetrics sometimes on things, and this is one of them. There we are. We have our hooks on the side where we can put the shovel, and the opposing side the brown broom. Hope whoever designed the brown broom got a bonus, because they use that thing all the time on so many builds. But anyway, we've got where we set our page of instructions over there. Got our set here, and we, you take the lid off the garbage can, you'd have your refuse or whatnot in there. And go ahead and believe it has to go this way. Yes, that way it can dump all the way in there. And then what would happen is they would drive all around, and then at the end of the not the end of the shift, but when they would come up as full, this would go here. If they go to the dump, they'd open the rear up, and then they would go ahead and dump the whole kit and caboodle out at the dump or the recycling place, wherever they may be. Shut her down and head on out again. We'll go ahead and we'll put, we're going to see, according to the instructions, man in all blue without the hat on is the driver. And then the other guy is the guy hopping out. I guess when I be fancy, you can put him on the back like that, and they can go between stops. That's kind of cheating. I stuck his foot on the brake light, but yeah, that was. If you watched a few weeks ago, I did the modern version of the Lego recycling truck, and it is much different, much bigger, much more advanced. Still has the same overall principles, though. The dumper on the back, so you have to. This here would move the actual garbage can up, dump it in there, and then they get to the end of their shift, they get to the dump and raise that and dump her all off there. But I can see on this there's some marks. I don't know how good it's coming out on camera. There's some rough marks here across the front, the sides, so not sure if this is the original kit, if somebody completed a kit using other parts that they found or were able to put together, but this is a complete kit altogether there. Got both the garbage cans that came with it. Again, Lego still using the same garbage can design 36 years later. I would call that a pretty decent build. Got any thoughts, Brett? Oh yeah, yeah. It's nice to see the progression. Sometimes you build these older kits, and then after you've just built one of the new ones, and you see how things have changed and all. But I would put that down as a pretty nice antique build. So that was kit number 6693. Oh, excuse me again. 1987. The recycle truck, also known as the refuse collection truck. Sometimes just kit 6693, sometimes kit 6693-1. So, we want to thank you for stopping by. If you could go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, that'd be very helpful. Helps the algorithm work things out, helps everybody out actually. Helps us out if we get a new subscriber, we get somebody into the algorithm for us, and it helps you out the viewer, because it puts other things similar to this. If you like watching this kind of stuff, it'll offer you up similar or like things that you could have, or like watching options. So, on behalf of Brett's Brick Builds, I am Jason. That is Brett. I want to thank you for stopping by for this classic build, and we will see you next time.